everyone, a very good morning. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I'm Mubina Kapasi. Markets, well, it's another day of some quiet moves seen, though mind you, we continue to be in the red. We have the Nifty 50 that's actually struggling at that level of 12,250. The Sensex as well is in the red, but as you can see on your screens, on the bottom of the screen, it's absolutely flat. Even the Nifty Bank, for that matter, no significant gains that one can really speak of. But Market Fatafat is all about identifying all those individual movers and shakers. So let's get straight to that. We have with us from the research team, Varun and Soumya. And on the technicals, Himen Kaparia will be joining in. So morning to everyone. And Himen, let's start off with you first. IndusInd Bank, quite a move seen in this one. This one too had been knocked out of shape. It had slipped below the 1300 rupee mark. But now there's a bout of recovery kicking in. In fact, it's now above 1530. So it's quite a rapid relief rally that we've seen in the last couple of sessions. What do you make of this move?
Thank you for having me. I would suggest a hold. We were in a 6 trading session range between 1480, 1510. We've broken out. We've gone up today. I believe we are heading towards 1560. It could take a few trading sessions, but yes, we've taken a breather. We've consolidated, and that we're going to break out. Indicators are supporting. Looks good.
Okay, that's IndusInd for you. Himen is advising that you should consider holding on to this one. Moving on, Varun, an update from IRCTC. How important is this one?
So it's pretty important, Mubina, and I'll tell you why. Because these price hikes that they keep taking really add a lot of operating leverage to the business. So, on the face of it, if you just look at a 2-3 rupee price hike per meal, it doesn't really seem like that big a deal. But when you factor in that this price hike will happen across all standardized units at all railway stations, you're looking at a significant increase in the average meal price charged to customer. So that can, even if you add 3 rupees on a 35 rupee meal, you're looking at a 10% increase. Now, while some of the meals are higher prices, so the exact percentage I can't tell you, but that being said, this has been, one again in a series of price hikes that have been coming from IRCTC since the IPO happened. So it'll definitely augur well for the H2 results. The specific margin impact or the revenue increase impact, we'll have to assess only post, we hear some official numbers or the management comes out and gives us some kind of metrics. But that being said, the stock should respond very positively to this.
Well, it already is 3% higher in trade. And do remember, IRCTC was one of those stocks that zoomed post its IPO as well. So that's one update coming in. But on the flip side, we have a big loser, and that's Dishman Carbogen. Look at the way the stock tanks today as well in trade, 18% lower. Now, do remember that last week we had some reports coming in that the income tax department has actually conducted a search at some of its premises, and that in turn is something that has caused the stock to plummet. In fact, the whole of last week we saw the stock fall. Today that continues. 6 straight session of losses, and during this period it has tanked a whopping 42%. So while just last week it was trading at around 130 odd bucks, today it's just at 74 rupees. So massive fall. I don't know if it's anything to do with this income tax department visit, if there's any update with respect to the search that they carried out. But yeah, 18% gone today for Dishman Carbogen, and that's the reason why we are flagging the stock off today. We'll also in fact be connecting with the management. We'll try to connect with the management very soon. Okay, moving on, Soumya, future retail. What exactly is the update over here?
Well, yes, Mubina, in fact, promoters have repaid close to about 1,500 crore rupees. Now, this has helped them reduce the promoter pledge levels from earlier 36% to 26.8% currently. Now, let me tell you that Amazon is investing in future coupons, which holds close to about 7.3% stake in future retail. Now, the further proceeds from Amazon would also help them to further reduce their promoter pledges. But as of now, the stock's reacting to this development that's taking place, and we're seeing a good amount of reaction coming in, where the stock's gaining close to about 2.6%.
Yeah, that it is. 349 for a future retail and trade. And Varun, what's the latest when it comes to Lemon Tree Hotels?
Right, Mubina. So Lemon Tree has 2 different kind of verticals. One is where they own the hotels, and the other is where they license hotels. Now, we've been seeing a series of deals from them picking up licensing projects, and if you just look at the room math on that, they takes them to one of the largest room holders in the country. Now you have to draw a distinction because the margins from a licensing arrangement are much lower than the margins from your own owned hotel. So in the most recent development, there's a new hotel in Darjeeling where they will be acquiring 55 rooms, and it's a business hotel, multi-cuisine restaurants, bars, meeting rooms, conferences, so the whole deal. And this will add to their licensing arrangement. That being said, the operating profits coming in from this will, accrue over time, and it won't be such a big jump instantly. The second thing you have to remember is, while the margins are lower for licensing agreements, one of the largest hotel chains in the world, Marriott in India, doesn't own a single hotel. They do not own any of their own hotels. They only operate through licensing, where they come in, they manage your property, they bring in the efficiencies, and they take a profit share. So that is what the majority of analysts and brokerages are building in as a primary growth trigger for Lemon Tree as well, because its capex is over. They won't be opening too many of their own owned hotels. So it's another milestone for them, another significant 55 rooms, and the stock is reacting pretty positively to that today.
Yeah, 3% higher, just about approaching 64 rupees. That's Lemon Tree. Okay, Himyan, another stock, or should I say a sector that's been gaining, has been the auto space. Maruti in particular is something I want to flag off because it's been a nice steady rise to now 7,400 rupees for the counter, putting it at a many-month high. Do you believe there's more room for an up move?
Yes, Mobina, I think so. I'm not sure if it moves up one way, because like you said, we moved up a bit, but yes, in bits and pieces. The first headache comes in at 74.81, but yes, I think we are up for a further upside. The range was between 68.50 and 73.50. We've closed above it, and now we're sustaining. So I believe 74.81, and beyond that, at the risk of sounding optimistic, I'd say we are heading towards 75.50.
Okay, so that's the latest then, and the move that we are seeing on a stock like Maruti, which has seen quite a bit of a rise recently. Telecom stocks, they continue to be on our radar. Now, the latest being that there is perhaps, and this is of course report-based, not independently verified by us, according to government officials, a high-level meeting will be held this week to take a call on scaling down the license fees. And as per the ET report, it will save the network providers a combined of 4,000 to 5,000 crore rupees. So the license fees may be reduced from 8% to 5 to 6%. This, of course, is a part of the government's initiative to revive the struggling sector that's been plagued by heavy debts and, of course, the entire AGR issue. But furthermore, we'll be keeping our eye out on Bharti Infratel, Airtel, and Vodafone Idea, because today is the today's the stop date for that merger with Indus Towers. There will be the board meeting wherein, of course, they will discuss a second extension that will be sought for the Infratel merger with Indus Towers that was announced all the way back in April 2018. The deadline of 24th October has already been missed because of the want of approvals, and the current deadline expires today. Remember that we still need the clearance from the DOT, which in turn needs the nod from the Finance Ministry in view of the international arbitration of an old case when Vodafone bought Hutch, in an $11 billion deal. So it's all entangled and connected with that, and in all possibility we'll be perhaps seeing another extension for this Infratel Indus Tower merger. So these stocks will be on our radar. The board meeting will be on our radar. All right, moving on. Soumya, buyback for NIT Tech. What are the details? How many shares? What's the price?
Yeah, so moving on to this one, now we have NIT Tech, which has approved the buyback for close to around 19.6 lakh of shares at a price of 1,725 rupees a piece. Now the entire buyback amount and this total buyback size is approximately 337.5 crore rupees. Talking about the stock performance today, we did see the stock rally as much as 3% during the earlier part of the trading session. However, it's ebbed off from the day's high and it's currently just marginally gaining by over 1%, but still trading in green.
Okay, that is the view then on an NIT Tech. It's 0.8% higher. And Varun Sun Pharma, what does Macquarie have to say about the company?
So not too positive as far as Macquarie's view on Sun Pharma is concerned. Now the first thing they're doing is they're lowering the EPS estimates from anywhere from 1 to 5%. Now, why they're lowering these estimates? The specialty sales are seeing a downtick. So while the traditional generic business performs well, the specialty products aren't seeing the kind of uptick that they were supposed to record. So now if you take that into consideration, the target price that they have is 418, which is actually around 10 rupees or 2% or 2.5% lower than today's share price, whatever you want to call it. And then this is currently in the absence of marketing spend. So some of their key brands, Illumia lags and have not been promising, and they have been increasing the marketing spends for these products, so your margins are only going to get hit. And even as of now, there's been a significant marketing spend towards these products. And also the US traction is just not picking up. So Macquarie is noting that US is a big point of sale for Sun Pharma, and typically the sales that were expected to be generated from that geography are not coming into tune for what they expected for this year. So overall guidance downwards on revenue and profitability and on target price as well.
Well, for now, though, the stock price of Sun Pharma is just about stable, 0.5% higher. Okay, and Hemant, JSW Steel is another stock that's worth flagging off because just like auto, the metal space as well has been seeing a bout of recovery. It's 1.3% higher. What do you make of this move? Do you believe there's more room for an up move?
Yes, I think there is more, but the more could take some more time. Fifth week, we're in this range. Yes, there is a distinct upward bias, and like you said, metals are improving. The range is between 246 and 270. I believe there is further upside. About 270, we should be moving towards 284. So yes, further upside, but not a very near-term call. It will probably be valid for a couple of weeks.
All right, so that's JSW Steel, 1.3% higher in trade. Timken India is something that we'd like to flag off today in trade because Kotak Institutional Equities has come out with a not so optimistic note on the counter. They continue to maintain a sell. They've slashed the target price, to 670 rupees. They've revised the fair value to 825 from 670 rupees. Pardon me. We did see the stock price gain yesterday, 3%. However, today it's down by about 1%, perhaps on the back of this note. Now, they believe that the revenue growth will be driven by strong growth in export and railway segments. Any further delay, however, in the DRC commissioning might hinder growth prospects. EBITDA margin continues to remain firm above the 20% levels, but any disappointment in margins could lead to an earnings downgrade. So they're a bit cautious when it comes to Timken India. I just want the graphics as well to be corrected over there on your screens. They've revised the fair value to 825 from 670 rupees. So that is something that one should take note of. Timken India down by 1% after that 3 to 4% rally that we saw in yesterday's trading session. Okay, well, Timken is not the only one that has a brokerage note. We also have Tata Power that's on our radar. Yesterday, we had some news flow coming in, post which the stock rallied. What's the latest today, Soumya?
Mubina, in fact, there are certain positive news flows when it comes to Tata Power. First being the company is planning to expand its distribution business to more circles, and in fact, it's aiming to actually get a customer base of at least 1 crore. Now, we even have Edelweiss coming out on brokerage note on Tata Power, wherein they're maintaining their buy stance with a target price of 817 rupees per share, where they believe that Odisha's acquisition would bolster distribution business aspiration, and as of now, the stock looks at an attractive valuations of over 8 times FY21 price to equity value. So now, given this entire developments, I think this is all boding well for Tata Power, and the stocks and the company is also on an expansion drive, and the stocks clearly reflecting a positive tonality and a positive line note wherein it's trading green right now.
Yeah, that it is. It's 0.7% higher for Tata Power. And Varun, Aurobindo Pharma, what does Citi have to say? They seem to be pretty optimistic.
So Citi is actually quite positive on Aurobindo. They have a target price of around 860 rupees per share. They believe that at the current valuations, there's a favorable risk reward for Aurobindo. So they believe that all the pessimism is actually priced in right now, and there's only upward movement expected from here. The compliance risk as well, which Aurobindo is seeing, is according to them priced in as far as the Sandoz knot is concerned. And they look best in place to navigate through the generics landscape. So in pharma, obviously, you have generic old commoditized molecules, and then you have newer ones. As in the generic business goes, Aurobindo is a pick which should do very well according to Citi. And so there's an open day, 90-day positive catalyst watch on here as well. So all in all, the outlook for Aurobindo looks pretty decent as far as Citi is concerned.
Well, yes, but the stock price not reacting much. It's actually 0.5% down. In fact, it's dropped quite a bit from that level of 471 rupees that it was trading at near the day's high. Okay, Heyman, meantime, CRISIL is as well seeing quite a drop in trade today. It's more than 3% gone, sub the 2,000 rupee mark for now sometime. What do you make of this move?
Well, I think it's just a cool-off move, because we've had a phenomenal move. It's moved from 1120 to 2060 in the last few months. So, yes, I guess it's almost double. Cool-off expected, necessary. We've come to an earlier high. So, I would say book partial profit. It's obviously not a sell, but book partial profit. A spot of consolidation correction seems to be around the corner.
Okay, so that's the view then on a CRISIL, just a cool off according to Heyman, and that's how you should essentially look at it as. Okay, Hindalco is a stock we want to flag off. Again, not much of a move seen in this one, but the update that we received yesterday post-market hours is quite significant from an operational point of view. It has seen its Muri refinery, which by the way was shut down. Muri, of course, is in Jharkhand, and it had shut down, I think, earlier in approximately April because of the spillage in the red mud cake storage area. So it's been almost 8 months since the plant has been shut down. The Muri refinery is important because it essentially provides the alumina that is required for aluminium production. Because of the short supply of alumina, Hindalco essentially had to buy it from outside. However, now that operations have restarted, it looks like it may not need to import or buy alumina from outside anymore, and its entire production requirements, or rather supply requirements, will be fulfilled by the Muri refinery itself. Stock price actually was gaining 1%, but now it's cooled off a bit and now is just left with gains of 0.5%. But this is an important one. Will not reflect in the third quarter results, but will reflect in the fourth quarter numbers. Well, we'll do one thing. We'll take a very short break right here on the show. Do come right back for more news and updates.